Who are your upsets that people might want to listen to and maybe sample when they're filling out their brackets, Seth?
Okay. Rich, you probably don't know this. Nobody knows this about me. This is just us. Yes. I went to Duke. Okay. I know nobody knows this. So I'm going to reveal this now after 30 years in the industry.
Yes.
I've got James Madison over the Blue Devils in the Sweet 16. James Madison, first game of the year, they win at Michigan State. Everyone says, what's wrong with Michigan State? Well, James Madison was what was wrong with Michigan State. They actually ended up in the top 25 like their football team did. They've won 31 games, and they sailed through their tournament. Really well-coached team. My other upset specials were down in the Midwest. I got McNeese, coached by Will Wade. We remember him and how he flamed out at LSU, but no one ever criticizes his basketball coaching. It was the other stuff that got him in trouble. Again, they've won all year, and Wisconsin played well in the Big Ten tournament. They lost 8 of 11 at the end of the regular season. And that's something, by the way, for all you bracket filler-outers out there. When you're looking for teams, especially the higher-seeded teams, maybe to pick for upsets, look for teams that did well all season long. Grand Canyon. I like Grand Canyon in the Sweet 16.
Boy, you're liking all the 12s. Alabama. You like all the 12s, huh?
Well, the 12-5 is the classic upset. The 13-4 has also, there's going to be, and that leads me to Samford over Kansas. This may seem wackadoodle, but Kansas lost by 20 to Cincinnati in the Big 12 tournament. They lost 4 of the last 5 games because their best player, in the Big 12, Kevin McCullough, has been struggling with a bone bruise in his knee, basically doesn't practice, has been in and out in terms of his game availability. And then at the end of the regular season, last game against Houston, Hunter Dickinson dislocated his shoulder, didn't play in the Big 12 tournament. Now, they say those guys are going to play, but Kansas already had no depth. They were basically only had 4 really good players, 4. And so they won a lot of games because they were a really good 4. They're going up against a team in Samford. Their head coach is a guy named Bucky McMillan, who got hired 4 years ago. He was coaching the high school down the street.
Yeah.
And Martin Newton hired him to be the head coach at Samford. They play Bucky ball, full court pressure. 12 guys play. They run, they gun, they shoot threes. And how's this for a kicker, Rich? The game is being played in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
So altitude comes into play. So I got Samford over Kansas with McNeese going to the Sweet 16. I got James Madison in the Sweet 16. I got Grand Canyon in the Sweet 16. And then from there, it's pretty much a lot of chalk.
Yeah. So you've got Samford versus McNeese in a second-round Salt Lake City match up. How about this one, too? Who's in Salt Lake City, but Long Beach State. What a story that they tell Dan Monson, you're out on a Monday, and he's cutting down the tournament nets to become the 15 seed on a weekend. That's nuts, Seth. Have you ever heard of anything? No. Has that ever happened? I mean,
I don't think it's ever happened. The reverse of that is, of course, is your alma mater in '89.
Right.
Yeah.
Where Steve Fisher gets the gig because Bo won't keep Bill Frieder in place.
Yeah.
You know, by the way, right. Like, so I guess the AD said, I'm not going to have a Long Beach guy coach a Long Beach team, right? Although the reverse to Bill Frieder left Michigan in '89, I guess, but Monson's given it. I've never heard anything like that, Seth.
Well,
right?
you know, so you say, why do you do this? You do this for this reason, because if you feel like you want to make a coaching change, if the guy makes the NCAA tournament, you can't fire him, basically, right? That doesn't matter. I mean, I guess you can do anything you want. So this is what they chose to do. It's an interesting time in the coaching business as a college coach and in any sport, but especially in basketball and football with the way things are going. You know, Dan Monson, people may remember, was the OG Slipper Still Fits coach at Gonzaga when they made their original Elite Eight. I think it was 1999, and then on the basis of that run, he got hired to go to Minnesota.
Right.
And Mark Few was his assistant coach on that team and took over, and the rest is history. So Dan Monson's a well thought of guy. He'll find work if he wants it, and it's a fun situation.
Well, maybe they go on a run and they say, you know, we never took our finger off the chess piece, you know, like we haven't. Right. It could be one of those.
If they want to change their mind, I'm sure he'd be willing to coach. He doesn't sound like a guy who doesn't want to coach anymore.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.